Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. She's what's going on in the skies above the United States of America. The skies and the runways. Wow, there was yet another crash yesterday.
Boy.
Delta plane wound up upside down.
Yeah.
On its roof.
And what, Chris, we still don't have the right to air the footage. Oh, we do? 21? Clip 21? Look at you. Please, thank you.
Here it is.
This airplane just crashed. The aircraft is upside down and burning.
Passengers on Delta Flight 4819 crawled out of the upside-down airliner after it crash-landed in Toronto. Flight attendants and fellow flyers helped each other escape. Another passenger's cell phone video captures the scene moments later.
We just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down.
All 80 people, 76 passengers, and 4 crew got out. The plane came to rest upside down. The wings and tail appear ripped off, the front landing gear pointing to the sky.
Most people appear to be okay.
Delta says at least 18 people were hurt, 3 critically, including a child. Other injuries were described as minor to moderate. What goes through your mind when you look at these images?
It says a lot about the integrity of how well the jets are actually built, the fact that the fuselage is still intact, the fact that the passengers, everyone is walking away from this situation is a very good thing.
Airline captain Laura Einsettler.
Having flown in Toronto many times, it is challenging with the winter conditions. You have to be on top of icing situations, both for the runway, also for the aircraft. They're going to be looking at wind shears, possibly anything that could actually have turned the aircraft over like that.
The CRJ 900 regional jet was coming from Minneapolis. It was a snowy and frigid day in Toronto with strong crosswinds and gusts up to 40 miles per hour. The airport had received about 2 feet of snow in the last week.
It can be challenging to come in with different stronger winds, wind shear, things of that nature.
Chris, it appears that everybody had their seatbelt on. How much of a difference did that make when you talked to experts today?
What is happening?
Well, Robert Sumwalt, a former NTSB chair, really keyed into that. You know, those seats are designed to withstand 16 times the force of gravity, but they only really work if you're wearing your seatbelt. The fact everybody was able to get
Ralph
out,
Nader
a testament not only to those seats, but to buckling up.
Chris, for all the people who look at all these plane incidents over the past several weeks and wonder, is it safe to fly?
Right.
What are the experts telling you?
What do you tell us?
The experts.
You know, they say that fundamentally nothing has changed in our aviation system despite this series of high-profile accidents we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. There are still multiple layers of safety that allow 45,000 planes to take off and land in the U.S. safely every day. Fundamentally, that hasn't changed. They say it's safe to fly.
Okay, Chris Van Cleve, thank you.
Thank you, Chris Van Cleve. That was a brilliant report. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so it came in and it basically belly flopped. Then the wings broke off, and then it flipped upside down. I mean, it was intense.
Why'd the wings fall off?
I think when it landed, because it came in and it...
Yeah, they always come in like that, do they not? They come in and they land on the wheels.
Right? I don't think the wheels were...
The wheels weren't deployed because they were when they were upside down.
Yeah, okay, so then they were.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow, and then it bounced so high it flipped around? Broke off the wings?
Well, by the time
that's a weird situation.
Flipped over, it was engulfed in smoke, so it was hard to see how it
very strange
did the flip there. But thank God everyone's still alive.
Yeah.
And the only video that I've seen about the incident, the security camera is so blurry that it's not even worth pulling.
Really? Mm-hmm. Is this the year 1912 or is it 2025?
A lot of the audience tagged me on that video saying, "Oh, we got another 1960
what
security
the hell?
camera video."
How is it we don't have footage of these things? We have footage of everything else.
Well, we have
clear as a bell.
Well, there was another pilot that was recording. That's the video I saw. That it was very clear.
Really?
Because he was on the runway.
But we can't do that one?
No, we can't play that
one. Okay.
Nope.
Well, NBC News went out of their way to try to blame President Trump for this.
I did want to, underscore, to pick up on the conversation you were just having, though, in terms of the recent string of aviation incidents, Tom. This is going to, yet again, raise the concern about FAA staffing, air traffic control staffing. Now, this is a Canadian air traffic control tower, and this is under Canadian authority once it crosses the border. And yet, as you know, there has been this talk about maybe staff cuts at the FAA as a part of President Trump's effort to trim down the federal workforce.
Hold on. What country is Toronto in?
Yeah. Canada? Canada.
They're not the 51st state yet.
I was just going to say, he does want Canada as the 51st
not
state.
Not yet, though.
So.
This one's on Trudeau.
Have we trimmed the FAA? I don't even know that they've cut anybody from the FAA. Maybe.
I know the White House press
has nothing to do with the people that are running the towers.
Yeah, last night she came out and said, we have not fired anybody.
That's what I thought. I mean, they're trying desperately to put this on him. How can you... Is he landing planes now? Really? A, he's been in office 4 weeks. B, he's not landing the planes. He's not piloting the planes, and he's not an air traffic controller. Wow, it's just crazy. The hysteria over Donald Trump and Elon Musk is so out of control. But again, nobody died in that. That is incredible. That's fantastic. Apparently 3 people are in critical condition, though. Yeah. So thoughts and prayers will be with them and their families. But really strange. I've never seen that happen before. Just flip over like that, break off the wings, and then slide upside down. Jeez. Wow.
And that is what I was thinking this morning. I was like, has the stats of flying changed? Like, I know crashes were like 1 in, a million? But I feel like right now it's like every other.
It's not quite every other. But like they said, what are there, 45,000 flights a day? So it's still pretty rare. This is what I tell my wife all the time because she's kind of afraid of flying.
Same here.
It's like the most safe form of travel there is when you consider the numbers of people who travel and the numbers of accidents. It's incredible.
It's going to be interesting to see because, when there's shark attacks, you think it's not even safe to walk along the beach.
Yeah.
Because there's so much hysteria and you don't know.
Well, it's not because of land sharks.
Right. Is there more? Are there more shark attacks or is it just we're covering them more? So it's going to be interesting to see
both
if it affects travel. I know one thing, Southwest Airlines for the first time in their company's history is announcing layoffs. And I would imagine this kind of publicity from, high-profile crashes doesn't help the business.
Mm-hmm. Can we go back to the land sharks, please? Like, what is this? What is this phenomenon?
Oh, you don't know about land sharks? Yeah, they're frightening. They can be on the beach at any time, and they just pop out of the sand, eat people.
They also visit...
Scary. They visit homes.
Random apartments in New York City.
Yeah, they'll knock on the door. What? Land shark.
Man, we are old. Holy crap, we're old.
All right. Wow. Democrats in Washington State are mounting a movement to remove George Washington's face from the state flag.
What?
Yeah, they said he doesn't have much. He doesn't really have. He's an East Coast guy. I can understand why the country thinks he's important, but he doesn't have anything to do with Washington State.
Oh my word!
Hey, stupids! Have you ever noticed the name of your state? Yeah, he's got nothing to do with it, right? Yeah. Nothing to do with it.
Hey, stupids! You just reminded me. You just reminded me of a tweet that our vice president had because some reporter said they tagged this guy tagged Vance. In a tweet and said, hey, J.D. Vance, I know you're busy lecturing the Europeans on free speech, but have you seen this? And it's a link to a thing about the AP being banned from the Oval Office because they refused to label it Gulf of America, which it is. J.D. Vance responded with, yes, dummy. I think there's a difference between not giving a reporter a seat in the White House press briefing room and jailing people for dissenting views. The latter is a threat to free speech. The former is not. Hope that helps. Hey, dummy. Or yes, dummy.
It's good stuff.
Reminded me of that.
It's good stuff.
He's so good.
Communists were supposed to gather across the nation yesterday to protest President Trump and his administration's actions. Here's their big gathering in Washington,
that was
D.C.
There's the big one right there. Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico. Boy, that is catchy. Powerful.
Gulf of Mexico.
Mexico.
Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico.
Like 8 people chanting it. But there it is. There's our nation's capital, and you can see it was a big success, this day of rage, or whatever the hell they were calling it.
It's more people than I hoped would show up. I mean, do we have an estimate on the crowd size?
Let's see. I'll get back to you.
That's quite a few people. Idiots.
Dummies. Stupids. Thousands.
Well, yeah.
You got thousands.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah, okay.
News report.
Wait, one of them's flying the flag upside down. That means we're in trouble. Oh, boy.
Wait, they're doing a hey, hey, ho, ho.
Hey, hey, ho, ho. It's the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, man.
Really organized. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, NPR says thousands, so that means probably 2,000. No, I don't know.
Also, a lefty wrote a song for President Trump.
All right.
And Elon Musk.
Okay.
Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back.
Right, good.
Trump is not a king.
He's not a king.
Trump is not a king.
This is really catchy.
Trump is not a king.
You'll be singing this all day.
Unlikely.
Never turning back. Never turning back.
Well, good. I don't want to turn back to Joe Biden days.
Stop the fascist now. Stop the fascist now.
I love the squealing microphone.
I love the offbeat clapping, too. That's great.
Never turning back. Mandate is a lie.
Oh my gosh, so many words.
Mandate is a lie.
What's a lie?
So many is a lie.
Mandate is a lie.
Mandate is a lie. Live mandate.
Never turning back. Never turning
back.
Oust the Musk regime.
Oh my gosh. Keeps going.
Oust the Musk regime.
Oust the Musk regime.
Oust the Musk regime.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Oh my gosh, that guy's still
Send them all to Mars.
Send them all to Mars.
Send them all to Mars.
Honestly, Pat, like your jokey sing sounds better than this guy. He thinks he sounds so good in his head.
I think that's a woman, isn't it?
No, it's a dude. Come on.
That's not a guy.
Never turning back.
That's a woman.
She sounds hideous.
Yeah, sure. I think so. I think it's a guy. I think it's a guy.
Yeah, it's a guy.
I mean a girl.
No, it's a guy.
I don't think so. I think it's a girl.
We're doing a vote on this.
I think it's a girl. Guys don't sound like this. Could be a trans. I don't know.
Could be trans.
Okay.
Could be trans.
All right, so we're both winners.
Yeah, yep. Could be trans.
I love my favorite part of this whole video is the lady trying to do sign language of the song. It's just fascinating.
I like the clapping. Had no clue where the beat was because there wasn't one.
There was a beat on that because I don't think there was
no, there
beat.
wasn't one. man, these people are just.
That's a guy. Come on.
That's a girl. I think it's a girl.
I think it's both.
Yeah, it might be. It might be two genders in one.
Yes.
Non-binary, perhaps.
Yes.
I don't know. All right. You ever have one of those nights where you're just staring at the ceiling? You know you have to be up early, but sleep just won't come. Oh, man, that sucks. I've been there, done that, and there is help available. It's called Beam's Dream Powder, and it is a delicious hot cocoa. It comes in great flavors like salted caramel. There's only 15 calories, 0 grams of sugar, and it gets you to sleep with natural ingredients like reishi and magnesium and melatonin. Try it today, and you'll get up to 40% off at shopbeam.com. That's shopbeam.com/Pat. Delicious flavors, good sleep. You wake up refreshed in the morning. You don't keep waking up all night long. Give it a try. If you've tried other things and they just don't work for you, please give this a shot. And you can get up to 40% off right now at shopbeam.com/Pat.
And now, Pat Gray returns.
I don't like Elon Musk. He needs to go to Mars.
Brilliant lyrics.
That was awesome.
Really good. Really, really good. I don't know who wrote that for. Maybe Bob Dylan. Because, wow, that was powerful. Whew.
I love when
Turn me around.
Republican takes power because we just get new songs.
Uh-huh.
That's the second song we've played.
Oh, yeah, right. It's coming fast and furious now.
That's cool.
What are people thinking? Guy, girl, man, woman, child?
I'll get back to
trans. All right.
Having internet issues.
Combination. Mm-hmm. You got internet issues?
No way. What?
Not here. That can't be.
The internet company.
I am suddenly in a foul mood.
Oh, wow. Wow,
So,
that's sad. That's sad.
Check in a little bit.
All right. Meanwhile, Tom Homan wants us to know that the Border Patrol is no longer releasing illegal aliens into the country. Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
San Diego has closed an office that was opened up to receive illegals. What's that tell us?
Yeah, none have come into the office since Trump was president.
That tells us the border is more secure than it's ever been. We're going to have additional facilities built to detain for removal, not to hold to release. Detain for removal. That is what the Trump administration is doing. That's what the promise that President Trump made to the American people. We're concentrating on the export program. We're not going to be catch and release is over. So those facilities that were at great taxpayer expense to welcome people, fly them to the city of their choice, give them a free hotel room at taxpayer expense, 3 meals a day, free medical attention.
Right.
Those days are over. We're going to detain. We end catch and release, and we're going to hold people to remove, not to release.
My gosh, I love that.
But
the best.
The message has gotten delivered to these illegals.
You think?
Loud and clear, because
you know how many border crossings there were in the last 24 hours?
Ooh, what's our number?
We encountered a total of 229. Not 229,000, not 229 million, 229. That's down from 11,000 at its daily peak. 229.
Yeah, and
wow.
Kudos to Tom Homan and all those that are upholding the law. He's been a Border Patrol agent since 1984, he said. Never seen it that low.
Yeah.
And then to the point where that office in San Diego they were talking about, 0 immigrants have entered those doors.
Love that.
Since Donald Trump was inaugurated.
My gosh. You know what? It just shows when you have the will, you can stop the problem.
Yep.
At least you can cut it back. What is that? 95%? 98%? That is gigantic. I didn't think it could happen that quickly, to that extent. That's amazing. If you just exercise the will and enforce U.S. law. We don't have to get together and do a bunch of legislation that's going to be egregious on people.
Right.
The laws already exist on the books. Just enforce them.
The left always says we have to do something. Well, we are.
We're doing it. We're doing it. Right. If it saves one American life, is it not worth it? I mean, that's their battle cry. If it saves one life, it's worth it. That's why we have to ban red number 3. If it saves one life, it's worth it. Yeah, well, how many Americans will be saved? Because there's not a whole bunch of criminal aliens coming across the border. There's not a whole bunch of terrorists coming across the border. There's less fentanyl coming across the border. And here was Dana Bash insinuating that New York City Mayor Eric Adams needs to help ICE agents, or the Department of Justice could bring back those charges he's facing.
If he doesn't do the things that you want him to do, would you be okay with DOJ reopening its investigation into him? Should they do that?
Stupid.
That's out of my lane. I'm a border guy. I care about the border. So let DOJ do what they do. I care about removing public safety threats from the country. That's what President Trump's promised the American people.
Adams.
Right. Did she think that he was like Attorney General or Secretary of State or something? Now you're talking to the border czar, stupid.
Stupid.
Can we please have a brain? Use your noodle for a minute. 1 minute. That's all I'm asking. Just use it for 1 minute. See if you can noodle some of this stuff out. It's not that hard.
Today's word is
stupid. Stupid or stupids.
Okay, a variant of, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Steve Baker was telling us that, and I'm not a legalese, I'm not a lawyer, whatever, but his case got dismissed with prejudice. Is that the verbiage there? That means it can't come back. So it was noted that when the DOJ, the Trump DOJ, dismissed the charges against Eric Adams, they were without prejudice or whatever. Anyway, it was the opposite of whatever Baker's
he could
was.
be charged again?
And so people were noticing, this could come back around. So, I mean, there could be something to Dana Bash's point, but I mean, Homan just wants to get people out of the country.
And Homan's not the one to ask about that. He's not the one that's going to do it.
Did you see? We didn't get to this yesterday. Eric Adams is suing the Trump administration for those FEMA funds, the clawback funds, $80 million apparently that was designated for New York City. He wants them back. And it's like, whose side are this guy?
Yeah.
This guy. He wants the money, but he doesn't want the immigrants. I see you working, Eric.
And here's a Border Patrol agent with nearly 30 years with an important observation.
I've been with Border Patrol since the INS days back in 1997, so going on 28 years. And this is definitely trending to be the most secure border that I've ever worked under because of Donald Trump's policies and everything that he's put in place to secure the border. It's working, and those numbers actually tell that story.
Yep.
I love it.
Gosh, you can't help but love it. It's not rocket science. It's just not that hard. It's really not. We've been saying this forever. Part of it, a big part of it, is the attitude.
Yeah.
Is whether or not you're sending the signal to them that, yeah, come on across. And that's what Biden was doing. The Biden-Harris regime was sending the signal that, yeah, come across the border. We'll just let you in. Everybody come. All y'all come free. It's fine. Just claim, you know what? Just claim that you need asylum, and we'll bring you right on in.
Like, if you had to summarize the Biden-Harris administration in one word, anything come to mind?
Stupids. Yeah, stupids. So
we have early returns in on if it's a guy or a girl singing there. And just so you know, guy 27%, girl 17%. Somewhere in between option is 55%.
Okay.
So again, you can
I
go
can
to
accept that.
You can go to @PatUnleashed on Twitter and you can vote on what you think. Guy, girl, somewhere in between.
That's a guy, pretty high voice, but I guess that's possible.
It's a theater guy.
Theater guy? Okay. That's the only kind of guy that would be singing like that at an event of that kind.
Yep.
So, yeah. Very possible that's a theater guy.
I mean, that guy did not make it through the auditions for the first round of American Idol. That's for sure.
What? No way.
And so he's been trying to live out that dream ever since, and he found
Little
an
pitchy,
opportunity.
dog. Little pitchy. That's what
Just
he
a
was
little
told.
bit?
Yeah, little pitchy,
That's
dog.
going to be a no for me,
That's
dog.
going to be a no. I'm sorry, man. And look at these polling numbers from MSNBC, of all places.
63% say they support the federal government only recognizing two sexes. 60% say they support deporting immigrants that are here illegally. And 59% say they favor declaring a national emergency due to migrant crossings at the southern border.
Okay, do you see how out of touch you people are then? Do you understand you're completely out of touch? Not with just MAGA Republicans, with Americans. Maybe you might want to just report facts from now on. I don't know. It's quite a concept.
So if you had to describe MSNBC in just the one word, what would you go with, Pat?
I'm thinking stupids. Stupids.
Okay.
Would be a pretty good way to sum them up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm surprised to see those stats, though.
Yeah, right.
They could have not reported them, right?
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Those were the most positive looking numbers on issues since
man.
January 20th.
Yeah, that's
and they're
crazy.
coming from MSNBC?
Yeah, look at that. 63-37. Only recognize two sexes. How high should that number be? I'm thinking 100%. If you have a brain, you know there are only two sexes. There's
Right.
two. There's male and female.
Well, there's somewhere in between if you do the poll at Pat Unleashed on
Right,
Twitter.
right.
By the way, that really, when you talk about obnoxiously small logo that they put in here, probably just legally had to do that. But man, that's small. Marquette University did the polling on this, by the way. I don't know. I have no idea if they trend. I don't know how their polls typically shake out.
I don't know.
I'm guessing
Stu probably has
further
an
left.
idea. Put that back up for a sec, because 63-37 on two sexes, 60-40 deport illegal immigrants, jeez, and declare an emergency on the southern border, 59-41. We are in great shape right now, as far as the will of the people being with this president to do what he needs to do. He can't be stopped if he just continues to have the will, and he's going to. He's going to.
Ever in your lifetime, have you experienced such a positive vibe on the direction of this nation?
Certainly not since 1981, I'd say. Since Ronald Reagan started pulling us out of the Carter malaise. You guys probably, you don't remember it at all, Chris, but you probably don't remember, Keith. It was, the nation was, we just had the crap slapped out of us by Jimmy Carter for 4 years. Everything was blamed on the American people. You're cold? Put on a sweater. Don't be turning up your heat. Put on a sweater in your house, you selfish pigs. That kind of stuff, that sort of feel. And then Reagan came along, and it was morning in America again. It was time to respect and love American citizens again, and we're going to restore our pride in this nation, because Vietnam was terrible, the gas shortages were terrible, the inflation was 18% at one point.
Yeah,
unemployment was 10 or 12%. It was ugly for 4 years.
Yeah, I do remember a picture that my parents had hanging in our basement in Atlanta, and it was a long gas line. It was just a long gas line there, just down the street from where we lived, Yeah. And they had it blown up there. It's almost like a reminder this is where we came from, and we're not going back.
Right.
But yeah, I was very young during the Carter years. I was born in 76, so Ford was still president. I don't remember much from those first 4 years of life. I did a lot of crying, right?
Yeah.
And now I think it makes sense. It's because Jimmy Carter was
now
president.
You know why.
And then by the time I turned to 4, that's when
by the time you were 5, there was somebody new and their new sheriff in town.
I stopped whining about everything. Well, that's not true. Stop crying about everything. Now I get it. Now I understand. It
Now
wasn't because
you
I
get
grew
it.
up. It's because Jimmy Carter was the president when I was a baby.
Right. There you go. All right, more coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Got a PSA from Pathead Jules. She's suggesting we use the hashtag stupids the rest of the show for tweets.
All right.
Let's get that trending. Hashtag stupids.
Add that to all your tweets
like
this morning.
Thank you, Jules. Also, this from Pathead Susan. Just an FYI for you all regarding the F-35. We were talking about this yesterday with India potentially receiving them. I don't want them to. Lots of countries have them already. I know. I don't like it. I don't like it. The latest generation should just be ours, I think. I mean, if you want to give them an F-16 or an F-15 or something, okay. You don't give them the latest iteration of what we have available in our technology, so maybe it's not anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe there's a sixth generation coming.
Messages that made it seem like it's not the latest.
It's not the latest?
Right, yeah.
My husband is an F-35 pilot from Italy. Cool. Working in a joint training program with the American Air Force. At our base alone, we have Japanese, Norwegians, and Singaporeans. See, that's our problem.
Oh no.
Can we just keep our technology to ourselves for a little while? In fact, for a really long while. You know, maybe we give them like a B-52. Okay? That's old.
Like Fred, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Or the old, what are the World War II fighters? Were they Mustangs? I think they were Mustangs. Give them one of those. Or, here's an idea. Invent your own. Okay? How about that? Norwegians, Singaporeans. In Italy, they've had joint training exercises on the F-35 with Israel, too. Yeah, I know Israel's got them, but we give everything to Israel. But you know what? They're like our little brother. We have sort of an obligation, I think, to Israel.
So, little brother.
If you're a Christian, don't you believe that we've got an obligation to Israel? I think so, but maybe that's just me. Lone Wolf 2965 tweets, if only Trump and DOGE didn't cancel the land the plane right side up training.
What?
Oh, those bastards.
What?
No wonder. So they canceled that too. And now we can't land planes right side up anymore.
Pilots don't know how to land the plane.
Okay, now I'm pissed. You shouldn't have done that.
Me too. That damn Elon Musk.
Stupids.
Oh, the stupids. Hashtag stupids. From Dirty Mule, PSA, if you're on a plane with me and it crashes, my first and only thing I'm doing is getting off the plane, not worrying if I recorded it on my phone. Well, that's rude.
That is rude.
How inconsiderate is that?
Thank you.
I want to see what it looked like.
Yes.
Right. And he doesn't care.
What
right.
the heck?
Clicks now, survive later.
Yes.
Right.
It's all
right.
about the clicks.
Show us what it looked like. None of us actually live life anymore. We just record life.
Thank you.
And then we'll look at it later, maybe.
You selfish SOB.
Oh, man, that pisses me
You
off.
want to survive. We want to see what it was like in there. In fact, if you'll recall in South America...
I wanted to see the fire, the flames, the smoke, the upside downness.
There was a...
There
Remember
was
that
a
crash?
lady clip when she was upside down and unbuckling herself.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about, it was very tragic a couple of years ago where the plane went down and the guy was recording in the plane. And that got transmitted to the world.
Boy. Yeah, that's sad. Yeah.
But you're on the ground safely.
Right, yes, okay.
Hit record already.
80 of you walked away from that.
You know what? In fact, on every plane trip, I want you charging your batteries, getting on the phone, recording from start to finish, because that way you don't have to think about it. It's just recording.
Yeah.
Put on your GoPro.
Right?
Yeah. Everybody GoPros.
All right, for Big Balls Business, we the people need a Pat Gray list of worst protest songs Oh, yeah, that would be.
Oof. That's a good
Man,
list.
we'd have to go back a long way there. Remember the Run, Liz, Run thing? Elizabeth Warren?
Yours was
Run,
better.
Liz, run.
Yeah,
You
yours.
might be a mommy. Run, Liz, run. Because you're a commie.
Yeah, that was that wasn't too far off from the actual song.
No, it was very close. That was very close. Timothy Lanham 1. America is a major exporter now of illegal aliens. Love that. Yep. Things are going quite well right at the present time. So great. We do have a couple of things we want to keep an eye on. Like, just saw this article about the fact that humans are over-trusting AI. That may not be great.
John Connor has entered the chat.
Yeah, right. Has anybody seen The Terminator? War Games? The Matrix? Any of those documentaries? You might want to check them out. Humans appear to have a dangerous blind spot when it comes to trusting artificial intelligence. New research from UC Merced and Penn State shows that people are highly susceptible to AI influence, even in life or death situations where the AI openly acknowledges its own limitations. A series of experiments simulating drone warfare scenarios suggests that we may be falling too far on the side of machine deference with potentially dangerous consequences. Do I believe that? Yeah, we're so enamored with AI now because it's really cool and it's helpful in a lot of circumstances. And then, we've got cars that drive themselves. We have a friend that comes here from Colorado from time to time to work in the building sometimes. And he's got a Tesla. And he says he barely has to touch the wheel all the way from Colorado to Texas.
Oh, God.
Doesn't even touch the wheel.
Oh.
I don't know if I could do that, but...
So that's interesting that you say that, because when I'm driving through the mountains of Colorado, I love the mountains of Colorado. I hate driving in the mountains of Colorado. I don't really trust myself driving in the mountains of Colorado, but I
would
wonder
you trust AI?
that I don't know.
Your car? I don't think I could.
My hands would be on the wheel, like...
Yeah. Yep.
You do it, but I'm gonna be my hands are gonna be right there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I don't. I really
My car,
don't know.
all it has is like it can park. It can parallel park you.
Ooh.
If you push the button.
Can you push a button that comes and picks you up from a bad date?
No.
Like the commercial?
No.
No.
But I don't need that because I don't have bad dates anymore. And that same friend, speaking of that, was with I think Stu and his son, and they were having dinner or lunch or something, and he just pushed a button, and the Tesla came and picked him up. Left the parking lot, drove around, came up to the front. It's like a valet service, but there's no person involved.
It's
incredible.
Fun
really.
and games until the machines take over.
Yep.
Okay.
But that's how trusting we're already becoming with all of this technology.
Right. But think about this. Fire, right? I mean, it's got its positives and it's got its negatives. You got to tame it. The internet, it's got its positives, it's got its negatives. You got to AI, positives and negatives. I watched the interview that Steve Deace did with Data Republic, and it's absolutely fascinating. And she made the point that this AI is probably why we are able to get so deep into DOGE with what it's finding out as far as the money we're spending
I'm
to
sure
things
that's
like
true.
USAID.
Yeah,
and we talked about the kid from the University of Nebraska who developed that program to read those scrolls. He's an AI genius. I mean, I think she's absolutely right. And so it's
how
doing
they so
good.
quickly got into the system and figured out the patterns and
It's
things.
doing
AI
so much good, the AI.
Yeah, it is.
But
It
boy,
is.
it's like,
But
it's
be careful.
Delicate. It's delicate. Yeah.
It's a tough balance to strike. And that's why the DOGE just found out there are far more Social Security recipients than U.S. citizens. Now, we suspected that all along, but...
Well, yeah, we had those numbers. Remember that 360-something-year-old that we talked about yesterday?
Yeah, that might be a code glitch or something.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But the sheer numbers of recipients is way too high.
100%.
Way too. They might not be 360 years old, but it's way too high. Now, does that only work for the 150-year-olds?
Well,
the code system.
Read this. This is a Facebook post from an old coder.
Yeah, this is what I read yesterday.
Okay.
I'm an old programmer, coder in today's parlance. And many old programmers know COBOL. Young coders don't. When the muskrat, now this gives you the clue, though, as to who we're dealing with. When the muskrat claims, he called a muskrat. I don't know why I slipped into cowardly lion there, but
It worked.
Okay. When the muskrat claims Social Security is paying thousands of 150-year-olds, I think someone should let him know that in COBOL, if a date is missing, the program defaults to 1875. 2025 minus 1875 equals 150. So I don't know if it applies only to 150 years old, because there were, as we mentioned yesterday, 360-year-olds. There were 129-year-olds. I don't know. Does that account for all of them?
I don't know.
I doubt it. But maybe. I mean, I don't know. There might be something to that. But I don't think it discounts the fact that there's all kinds of waste and fraud in the Social Security system. I think we all understand that. And let's just root it out.
Yeah.
Can we just do that? I mean, why would anybody? And everybody's all pissed off, singing songs about Elon Musk on the mall in Washington. Come on.
It's catchy, though, you have to admit.
Yeah, it is. It's
it's
got a great beat. It's easy to dance to.
The guy girl.
Yeah.
So DOGE revealed yesterday that until now, the Treasury Department has not tracked approximately $4.7 trillion in payments. $4.7 trillion. Also, I don't know if there was a follow-up on this.
That's almost the whole budget.
You're right. Elon Musk tweeted out looking for the gold in Fort Knox.
Yeah.
And then the meme was like, it's not there. I don't know. Do we have a follow-up? I mean, have we seriously gone looking for it physically yet?
I don't know that he's actually been there to check that out. I don't think so.
Well,
but there's supposed to be, what, $400 to $500 billion in gold there? But I doubt there is.
I know Senator Mike Lee has tried to go to Fort Knox and has been denied entry.
Yeah, a U.S. senator.
Yeah. And he's like, wait, I'll go to military installation all the time. Nope, not here.
Did he have an appointment, though? Because remember, you can't get into federal buildings. Get yourself an appointment.
I think we realize that, right?
Yes.
Many of the same areas that are still reeling from Hurricane Helene in the Appalachian Mountains are being pummeled by new storms. Dang. Multiple deaths have been reported since late last week, and roads and towns have again been washed away. Democrat Governor Andy Beshear had this to say about the help his state has been seeking from the Trump administration.
I do want to thank Secretary Noem and the President, who have responded to all of our requests, turned around the declaration of emergency about as quickly as I've ever seen. FEMA is with us here in the EOC, and they brought in resources, extra search and rescue teams. So really grateful for how they're operating with us.
Never seen it that fast.
That's great.
Okay.
Again, a Democrat admitting that.
Yeah. Man, I feel so bad for that part of the country.
Oh, my gosh.
High water. They had just, Matthew Von Swoll had just tweeted out that thousands of residents got postcards saying, like, that they were being reimbursed for their property taxes from, I guess, the previous year or something. And so it was looking like, hey, we're turning a corner here. You know, obviously the Biden administration failed us. The Trump administration has been working nonstop. Everything's great. And now we've got this next natural disaster. It's just heartbreaking for those people.
Sure is. Jeez.
Pray for them.
No doubt. All right. Most Americans have been aware of Anthony Fauci, at least since the COVID pandemic really took off in 2020. But Dr. Richard E. Bright, a molecular biologist from Rutgers, has Fauci on he's had him on the radar since 2001 and the anthrax scare. After which, Dick Cheney empowered him and the NIAID with the authority and funding for biodefense, once reserved solely for the Department of Defense. So in the latest episode of Matt Kibbe's documentary series, The Cover-Up, he joins Dr. Ebright as he walks us through a series of embarrassments that begin with the recreation of the deadly 1918 Spanish flu. Why would you bring that back? And it culminates with the coming of COVID-19. Together, Matt Kibbe and Richard Ebright will connect the dots and trace the funding, giving you the answers you've been demanding for years about the dark research, the fraud, the corruption surrounding Fauci. It's a fatal culture of hubris and graft that left so much destruction and mistrust in its wake. Watch episode 4 of The Cover-Up, Smoking Gun, on Blaze TV, available now. Become a subscriber at FauciCoverup.com/Pat. Use the promo code SMOKINGGUN to get $30 off your subscription. That's FauciCoverup.com/Pat. Code SMOKINGGUN for $30 off your subscription. We talked to Matt last week. It's riveting. Don't miss that special.
Yeah, and in fact, since we're talking about the cover-up, there's a clip of Dr. Fauci that's been going around lately. I've never seen this. This is from, obviously, the early 80s that you'll see. It's clip 12 here. People are like, wait a minute, let's go back and watch this. What does Anthony Fauci mean when he says this about AIDS?
I'll get to in some of the latest slides how this disease, which we surmised early on, started off in the male homosexual population in this country. Not that there was anything intrinsically different or wrong or what have you about homosexuality. It was very simple. It's straightforward epidemiology. You take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population which the spread among those individuals, if it's sexual contact spread, it's a perfect setup to spread. In any event, what we had was a concentration of cases, as you'll see here, in the New York metropolitan area, New York City and New Jersey, and in Los Angeles. Take an infectious agent and you introduce it into a population.
Okay, so there you go.
So that was like 40 years ago or so, right?
Yeah. So what did he mean by you take it and you introduce it into a population? People are just kind of giving that line some extra scrutiny lately, and any scrutiny you can give to that guy is welcome.
Well-deserved.
Yes.
Well-deserved scrutiny.
He is evil.
So don't miss The Cover-Up. It's awesome. It will blow you away and probably piss off just a bit.
I represent science.
Well, there's that, too. He represents science.
Hashtag stupids. Dr. Fauci.
All right, more coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Got some tweets here. Kenneth Parker tweets about the plane crash and the lack of footage from people who were on that plane. 80 phones on the plane. The clip loss was tragic. 75 phones didn't record. You can't have that. You can't have it.
Try harder, people.
Right? Mandalorian Patriot 2. I wouldn't sell another country a Mustang. Not even the horse. Okay. Radine Marie Cook. So would that be stupids or stupids for the trending? I think it's STUPIDS.
Yeah, don't get cute with the spelling.
Right. It's the first version.
Don't get
Stick
cute.
with the basics, you know?
Just stupid with an S. That's all.
Don't be
or with
stupid.
a U. STUPIDS, not double O.
Right. Okay, so have you heard about this trans murdering cult that's happening right now? I was blown away to see it referenced on CNN. And so I started looking around online, and sure enough, there's quite a few stories. Very few of them even mention the word trans. The apparent leader of a cult-like group known as the Zizians has been arrested in Maryland, along with another member of the group, according to Maryland State Police. Jack Lasota was arrested on Sunday, along with Michelle Zyko, 33, of Media, Pennsylvania. They face multiple charges, including trespassing, obstructing and hindering, and possession of a handgun in the vehicle. I have heard that these people are responsible for like 4 murders so far.
The Border Patrol agent in Vermont.
Right. And 3 others that that have been confirmed, according to what's his face? No. What's his?
Oh, Andy No.
Andy No.
Yeah, he's been doing great reporting on this. Yeah.
Awesome. He's on this. He's on it like Bluebonnet. Bail hearing for the 2 is scheduled for 11 this morning. The Zizians have been, here we go. The Zizians have been tied to the killing of U.S. border agent David Maland near the Canadian border in January, and 5 other homicides in Vermont, Pennsylvania, and California. So 6 people have been killed by this cult so far. Now, not one word thus far. We are how many paragraphs into this story? Not a word about these people being trans.
Mm-hmm.
Maland was killed in a January 20th shootout following a traffic stop in Coventry, Vermont, small town about 20 miles from the Canadian border. Officials have offered few details of the cross-country investigation which broke open after Maland's death. Associated Press interviews and a review of court records and online postings tell the story of how a group of young, highly intelligent computer scientists. So they're just young, super intelligent computer scientists.
Oh, so it's DOGE.
DOGE type people.
Marauding around.
Mm-hmm. Most of them in their 20s and 30s met online, shared anarchist beliefs, and became increasingly violent. Their goals aren't clear, but online writings span topics. Finally, a mention of radical veganism and gender identity to artificial intelligence. That's what their topics span. Okay. All right. At the middle of it all is Ziz, who appears to be the leader of the strange group, members who call themselves Zizians. She has been seen near multiple crime scenes and has connections to various suspects. Wow. So only when you dig deep into this do you even get any sense that this is a transgender cult. Lasota, who used she, her pronouns, and in her writing says she's a transgender woman. So this is a biological man, obviously. Railed against perceived enemies, including so-called rationalist groups who operate mostly online and seek to understand human cognition through reason and knowledge. Oh, how dare they? Some are concerned with the potential dangers of artificial intelligence. Wow. Okay. Lasota has not responded to multiple AP emails in recent weeks, and her attorney, Daniel McGarrigle, declined to comment whether asked whether she's connected to any of the deaths. Before her weekend arrest, she missed court appearances in 2 states, and bench warrants have been issued for her arrest. So, fascinating. I mean, you might wonder why is this happening in the transgender community? There's a look at some of these.
Boy, they're lovely,
wonderful people.
Boy, that's a crew.
That's a crew.
And the leader is the top left.
That's Ziz. Him or herself. Themselves.
Boy, you better watch yourself. He'll cut you.
I know.
He will cut you. But he's arrested. So
that's good.
Yeah, right.
He won't cut us
I'm sure he'll be out soon.
This is
I don't know, Pat. It's a Trump administration. I don't know if he'll be out.
Yeah.
The strangest collection of beliefs I think ever.
Yeah. Well, they're messed up in the head.
Mm-hmm.
They're psychos.
Yep.
Are they intelligent psychos? Maybe. I don't know. But they're psychos. You don't go through a 4-state killing spree and not be psychotic. That's unbelievable.
Well, maybe Elmo can help.
Elmo?
Maybe Elmo can help.
How can Elmo help?
Because Elmo wants you to know about Upstander. An upstander is someone who uses their kind words or actions to help others or themselves when they are being treated unfairly. Elmo tries to be an upstander every day by helping anyone who needs it and making sure he is kind to everyone.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
So before you're getting killed
posted?
by trans cult, just be an upstander.
Where's this upstander poster you're referencing here? Where's this posted? Do we know?
This is posted at the Sesame Street social medias.
Well, it's a lot like the NFL's program to choose love. If we just choose love, why none of this stuff will happen, will it?
Well,
you'd be an upstander and choose love.
They've now eradicated that. I think as of the Super Bowl.
They did?
They stopped putting that on the field.
Really?
So I think
so. They've end racism.
We stopped racism.
Stopped that, and then now we've stopped choose love. We're not choosing either one of those now.
I think we're choosing to play football now.
Okay, that would be nice.
I'm okay with that.
That would be nice.
I'm okay with it because I can't choose both. Like you gotta help me out here. I can only pick one. So you want me to end racism?
You can't do them both.
I can't do both. I'm so sorry.
That's a lot. It is a lot. It's a lot to
ask.
ask. Yeah, it is.
So if you want me to end racism,
then
I'll
you
do
can't.
that,
but you can't be loving. No.
Yeah, I can't be lovely.
No,
Thank you.
Hold on a second. I've been wondering when we could read this from Bob Francis. I got to keep an eye on you. All of us have to keep an eye on Kris Cruz. As Bob Francis tweeted to us. So Kris was a guest at Justice Sotomayor's house and also received a presidential coin from Obama for being part of his security detail.
Oh, wow.
At what point do we start asking more questions about Kris Cruz?
Oh, my goodness.
I've made this public. I voted for Obama the first time.
Oh, wow.
So
even your chickens haven't done that, bro.
Wow. In 2008, you voted for Barack Obama.
Yes, sir.
How dumb can you be?
Well, I was a kid.
#stupids.
Yep.
This guy.
It's a perfect day for that because that's about as stupid as you can get right there. Wow. Huh. So you were a liberal when you were younger?
I didn't know what that is.
A communist? You were a Marxist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Territorian.
Okay.
Territorian.
He's a misguided Territorian.
So when did you change? You didn't vote for him in 2012?
No, because he kicked me out. So I was upset at him.
He kicked you out.
Well, yeah, he did the drawback of the forces.
Oh.
And I was part of the pink slips.
Really? So you didn't leave the military on your own?
No,
you were forced out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So wait a minute. Did they run out of gates or something? What happened with the drawdown? I don't know.
They did run out of gates, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, they were fully staffed.
Well, there's only so many gates you can guard, I mean, we don't have an unlimited supply of gates.
Yeah, like Edwards Air Force Base has 2 gates.
Right. So, I mean, what, can you post 2 people there at the gate? So you got 4 people who've got a gig right there. 4 people.
Boy. Sorry, bro.
So, yeah, that's sad. Sorry to hear that. Now, were most Territorians forced out of their military gigs?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
We were. Kind of racist.
Yeah, that is kind of racist. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I can see why you turned on Obama.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure can. Maybe that's why Democrat billionaires are trying to create their own Joe Rogan.
Oh, wait. I already know where this is going.
I love this. Democrat billionaire backers and a conglomeration of the left-wing media elite gathered in D.C.'s Swanky Wharf neighborhood to plot a new media apparatus and address the party's failures. For decades, the left wanted to create their own Rush Limbaugh, too.
Yep.
Remember that? Mm-hmm. But they can't. Why? Because they can't win arguments. And they're not funny, and they're not entertaining. They can't do this. They've tried multiple times. Air America. Does that sound familiar to anybody? I mean, the biggest collection of losers on the air in the history of the airwaves. And one of them was, what's his face, who wound up as a Frankfurter. Franken. Al Franken.
Yeah.
Was
Al
one
Franken,
of them.
Stephanie
so
Miller,
bad
Rachel
on the
something.
radio. Yes.
Terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
Oh my gosh.
And you had companies like Clear Channel running
They tried.
scared. saying we'll give them a whole channel, and
they did,
and we'll just,
and they did.
You can try this experiment for years, even though we were losing money hand over fist. They didn't care. They were
didn't
like
care.
because
they did it anyway.
because they had the pressure of the FCC and the possible threat of the government. Now this was during Bush's term.
Yes.
Can you imagine if a Democrat had been in office? Then it would have been more than just running scared. It would have been a mandate, a legal requirement.
No doubt.
So the good news is, in this case, they want a liberal Joe Rogan. Well, thank God Spotify and the internet, isn't a government. Thank God it's not another arm
government
of the government
agency
that they could say, well, you have to have equal time there, Spotify.
Right.
Oh, this is so. Bring us your liberal Joe Rogan.
Yeah, go ahead.
This will be fun.
Go ahead.
Holy crap.
I want to see them create one. Somebody who has, 10 or 12 million people, 15 million people a day on their podcast or their radio stations. Go ahead, because they can't do it. I mean, we've seen that over and over and over again.
Yeah, they're gonna. I tell you, I know what's gonna happen. They're gonna find somebody that we perceive is down the middle, and they're gonna try to mold that person into being a liberal mouthpiece.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be someone who, at the end of the day, is disingenuous and will not be able to actually argue their points, like you said. But it's not going to be some liberal that already comes in isolating half of America. It's going to be someone, maybe someone ambiguous. You don't know how they are, or someone that I can see this. Keep an eye on The Rock.
Oh, man. Yeah. That'd be a good choice for them. That'd be a good choice.
Keep an eye on The Rock.
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
future president of the United States. He's got to wait, though. J.D. Vance is already doing quite well.
Wow. Yeah, but, I mean, Clear Channel went down that road with him.
Yep.
They said, okay, we won't. Because they kept saying that Clear Channel was just doing everything the Bush administration wanted them to do. Because the Mays family was friends with the Bush family. And so the theory was that they're doing the bidding of George W. Bush, which was so untrue. Oh, my gosh. Mm-hmm. And they didn't control anybody's content anyway. Never. I mean, we were at Clear Channel back then. Mm-hmm. They never tried to mess with our content. Mm-mm. Except for my program director who wanted us to be more magazine-y. Dude, you got to be more magazine-y.
Dude. Have a pet psychic on, dude.
So Clear Channel set aside an entire channel. Then when they purchased Sirius XM and they put Air America on it, and it just didn't work. They gave it, several years.
I know.
And it floundered and lost just millions of dollars. Terrible. So good luck. Good luck with finding the next Joe Rogan. All right. The news has been moving so fast, it's really hard to keep up. It's easy to get distracted, but here's something you don't hear much about, and it matters more than almost anything. There are babies in their mother's womb who need our help right now. Preborn's network of clinics are on the front lines nationwide, on standby for women deciding between the life of their babies. Preborn seeks these women out to help them choose life, not just for their babies, but for themselves, by introducing these hurting women to the life growing inside of them. Once they see the ultrasound that is paid for by your contribution of $28, and they hear the heartbeat, it changes everything. That precious heartbeat that says, I'm alive. Would you please be the voice for the preborn and become a monthly donor? $28 a month could be the difference between the life and death of so many lives. To donate securely, just dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or you can visit preborn.com/Pat. That's preborn.com/Pat.
Follow Pat on X at Pat Unleashed. Pat Gray Unleashed returns right after this.
cold in Texas tomorrow. That's for sure.
Ooh.
At least in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Mm-hmm.
28 for the high, but they say the chill factor is going to be like 4 below. Brr.
I'm cold.
Brr, I'm cold. Brr, it's cold. I'm cold. Brr.
Bring it.
Brr. Oof. That's a little too cold. That's nasty cold.
Nasty cold?
Yeah, it's brutal cold. Brutal, nasty cold.
I don't like cold air that gets wasted. You get so few opportunities in the South to get snow and stuff like that. It's like when it gets cold, I don't want it to be dry.
But it's going to be, right? I mean, they're not expecting snow, are we?
I just rained today, and that's it.
Tonight
for like 4 hours.
Oh, good. So the rain will freeze solid,
Yeah,
and
there
then
you go. Yeah.
and then we'll skate into work tomorrow.
That's what they're saying. Yes.
Okay, good. That's great. James Carville has admitted to some Democrat racism. What?
That's not the story I thought you had. What's this story? I've got another one.
Well, Carville on his Politics War Room podcast.
Okay.
I never miss it. Do you? I never miss an episode.
That's your future Joe Rogan right there.
Right there you go.
James Carville.
There you go.
He's not unhinged.
He condemned the phrases communities of color, people of color, calling them racist. Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin was with him, and she didn't use the terms, but she agreed it's wrong to assume, as Democrats always do, that all individuals can be understood solely based on their racial identity. And Carville had actually admitted that that's racism. Thank you for that. He's, fairly outspoken. Yeah. He said, it's like there's a plant somewhere in progressive America that just sees how many jackass, stupid things that they can embrace. It's stunningly stupid. How about that?
Hashtag stupids.
Yep. But, I mean, he's also crazy.
He is.
You have a story on the crazy side?
Well, it's just that he has admitted to Team Trump has been so nonstop. They haven't taken their foot off the gas. They haven't adjusted their foot on the proverbial throat.
Yeah.
They have just been full speed ahead. And he admitted, and kids, if you've followed James Carville since he became nationally prominent during the Clinton campaign in 92, it was stunning to hear him actually admit that they are overwhelmed with what Trump is accomplishing in the administration.
Good.
That tastes good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. For a change, you're on your
Good.
heels.
Yeah, I love it.
Good.
I love it. I mean, it couldn't be any better right now.
Stay overwhelmed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Democrats in the press continue to try, though, to make it seem like Elon Musk and his DOGE team are rummaging through our personal files within the government. Here's the Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller, addressing that concern.
Can you give assurances to people who faithfully pay their taxes in this country that DOGE isn't just going to go randomly sifting through the records and maybe come across the personal private records of a lot of Americans?
I can give absolute 100% insurance. I give you complete and total assurance on that point. We are talking about performing a basic anti-fraud review to ensure that people are not engaging in large-scale theft of federal taxpayer benefits.
Thank you.
I mean, for example, we pay billions of dollars a year in child tax credit payments to illegal aliens. Billions with a B. So these are systematic, programmatic reforms that we're talking about here. And as far as protecting the secrecy of tax records, the IRS has been weaponized at the career level against the American people for years now. This has been one of the most invasive arms of the federal government, engaging in capricious and politically based audits, leaking taxpayer information for political reasons. We are restoring the neutrality. We are restoring ethics. We are restoring security controls at IRS. In fact, one of the big projects that DOGE is going to be working on is upgrading IT systems and software so that our taxpayer information cannot be stolen by criminals or foreign governments.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So great.
And let's talk to his point. On the waning days of the Biden administration, his IRS went after Pete Hegseth, who is now being audited because they knew he was going to be the Trump nominee for defense secretary. That's not a neutral government agency. So it's definitely been weaponized, and I love to see it being called the Hill. And by the way, Pathead Mike with a great meme this morning from Office Space. If DOGE could hurry up and abolish the IRS before April 15th, that'd be great. I'm with you, bro.
Wouldn't it, though? Oh, man.
Just file an extension, bro.
You still have to pay. You file the extension, you got to pay your estimated tax. And if you're wrong in your estimate, if you fall short, you get penalized on the difference. I hate the IRS.
Math right the first time.
It's so dumb. This is the dumbest system ever.
It's the worst.
We know what you owe, but you have to figure out what you owe.
Right.
And if you don't pay the exact amount that we know that you owe, then we're going to come after you. Just tell me what I owe.
And when you have a small business, you have to estimate how much you're going to make all year long. Because if you mess up at all, you get crushed at the end of the year. I mean, absolutely crushed.
Insane.
It's almost to the point where, we had our best year at Kexi last year. And it's almost to the point where it cost us so much in taxes that it's almost like, stop making money.
Right.
Okay, let's take a loss with this thing because I can't afford the profit.
Right.
Can't do it.
You are living
nuts.
The progressive tax based in Karl Marx's theory.
Yeah.
That's what it punishes success.
It does.
You get right
Big
to that
time.
line. How many times are you going to check to see which bracket I'm in? Oh my gosh, I got to pull it back a little bit so I don't get taxed this much.
Yep.
It's just absolutely just seriously 10% done.
Oh, jeez.
Come on, flat tax.
From your mouth to God's ears.
It's immoral to have
please.
Income tax to begin with, but look, can we compromise somewhere in the middle and just say 10%, 9%?
A flat tax. I mean, even if it were 15%, that would be so much better than what we face now.
How could you not argue
completely
that's fair?
Out of control? I don't know. More coming up. Well, that's because people are stupids. That's how you can argue it.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Just to finish up on our discussion about taxation, which is evil. The taxation in America is evil. We talk about a flat tax from time to time. 10%, 15%, those are the numbers usually thrown around. I think the flat tax is probably almost impossible because if everybody paid 10%, the Marxist morons will say, I pay the same amount that Elon Musk pays. Yeah, because 10% of $1 billion is the exact same amount as 10% of 60,000. Stupid.
Hashtag stupid. And seriously, no one's taxing your USAID funds.
Right.
So relax.
I mean, and they already scream about it by comparing capital gains taxes the billionaires pay, because mostly people like Elon Musk aren't on salary. They don't usually have income at this point in their lives. And maybe he does. Maybe he takes a small income. Usually from his companies, he doesn't, from what I understand. But he gets capital gains because he's got investments. He's got stocks in Tesla and SpaceX and all the companies that he owns. Anyway, you pay capital gains tax on that, which is, what is it right now? The 20%, 25%, 28%? I don't know.
Stupid.
It's changed so many times, I forget how much it is. But capital gains tax, they'll compare that to income tax, even though capital gains is a double tax. You already paid the income tax on the money that you invested. Now I have to pay again on the money I make from the investment.
Yeah.
It's asinine. It's communism. It's insanity, and it's evil.
And
it's just wrong.
You can't have a coherent conversation with your fellow countrymen on issues like this or on the Constitution, because we've spent over a century of dumbing down our education system to the point where you try to explain this to people and they look at you like you just landed from another planet.
Yeah, they do. What? And you get the rich don't pay their fair share. Oh, jeez. I accidentally don't know. I wasn't even paying attention to the rating on it or what it was really about. I clicked on a movie yesterday.
Oh, no.
It's called Ides of March with, I really liked Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
And George Clooney's in it. George Clooney's running for president as a Democrat.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my gosh. The propaganda that spills out of his stupid face is unbearable. I thought, okay, no, I can't take it.
You didn't make it?
No, I did not make it.
Oh, how long did you make it?
Did not make it.
20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think he started spewing rhetoric about the 10-minute mark. That's probably about as far as I got.
Okay.
Once he started his speeches about the rich don't pay their fair share and global warming and oh my gosh.
Wait, the rich. So George Clooney, you might know him as Rich.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you might know him as Rich. He was probably worth what, $200 million or more?
Let's see here. What do you think?
I'm going to say net worth $250 million.
500 million.
500 million. Okay. I think he's doing okay for himself.
Okay.
He probably doesn't wonder where his next meal is coming from.
Right, but Elon Musk does because he's not taking a salary.
Right.
But that's just the thing. Like,
drives me out of my mind.
These politicians want us to somehow, and so many people, probably, I don't know what the percentage, like say, oh yeah, unrealized gains, you should absolutely tax them, you know?
Oh, that's what Biden was trying to pull.
Absolutely. I mean, we would be living, can you imagine? There is another timeline where Kamala Harris stole the presidency, and we're having a discussion this morning, not about locking the border down and absolutely nobody getting in. We're saying, are they going to tax our unrealized gains?
And they would. Oh, they would.
Which is insane. Like, how... We've got to have a simple course. Someone has to break down for the stupids among us and just say, look, I'm sorry that a century of terrible education systems in this nation have failed you, and your little brain can't understand this.
Yeah.
But not only has that money been taxed that you used to invest, but now you're taxing something that you haven't even received.
Right.
What in the hell is wrong with you?
It's the worst. Oh, my gosh. That's why I'd be okay if if President Trump replaced the income tax with an excise tax, with a tariff tax. Okay. If that funds government, that's fine. That's how it used to be funded, as he's mentioned many times. In the 1800s, that's how the federal government received their money, because there was no income tax. If you want to go back to that, if you want to completely get rid of income tax and all of the hidden taxes on us, and what we receive as a gross is also our net, then okay. Yeah, all right. So we could all deal with the rise in prices at the retail level a little bit better.
I've known you for 24 years. 24 years ago, I was huge on the fair tax. Congressman John Linder's plan, talk show host Neil Bortz from my hometown of Atlanta was big on pushing that. You were definitely not on board. What temperature check? Where are you on the fair tax, where we have a national sales tax, but you get 100% of your paycheck?
I'm kind of at the same point.
Okay.
If they first, you have to eliminate the IRS.
Yeah,
that has to go. An income tax has to completely go away.
Yep.
If you can do that first, because I don't want to wind up with both, and that's what I fear would happen. You'll promise that the IRS will be eliminated, and it won't be.
I've got a scenario for you. You're going to love this. As conservatives and libertarians, we're always getting burned on these deals, right? Let's tell them this. Let's say, hey, if you get rid of the IRS, then we'll vote in for a national sales tax, okay? And so then it gets repealed. That amendment goes away. And then they're like, all right, it's time for the fair tax. And we're like, oh,
nope.
Look at the time. Shoot.
Yeah, shoot.
Oh, no.
We're all out of time for that. we're in a position to do that now.
You know what? And
I
after...
wouldn't be opposed to it.
After our quality of life, as great as it is in this country, could be so much better without all the waste and fraud that is being uncovered every minute by the DOGE team. What is our counter up to right now, Joe? Do we have that? But think of our quality of life has been affected. The cost of things have gone up on our tax dollars going into these black holes, not black holes, into coffers of politicians who know how to game the system in just the most horrific specific ways. Screw you. Maybe we need a couple of generations without any kind of income tax whatsoever. How about that to make up for this? Otherwise, never mind otherwise.
Get rid of FICA. Get rid of income tax.
Yes.
All of that stuff.
So over taxes, man.
Look at the DOGE clock now.
What are we up to?
Almost
Savings.
$109 billion.
Incredible.
In a few minutes, we're going to be at $109 billion saved. That's saved so far. And they haven't gone through everything yet.
Oh, no.
Incredible.
No. There's more dominoes to fall. And it's and by the way, you got the Associated Press bitching and moaning about not getting access to the Oval Office. What was it? It was $52 million to the Associated Press uncovered. DOGE, they're getting from USAID. You'll do what we say. It's Gulf of America.
Wow, that's amazing. Jeez. Yeah, if you're on the take, like the auto companies were for a while, if you're on the take from the government, sorry, you've opened yourself up to that kind of stuff.
These are the rules.
Yeah. All right, if you're going to take my money, then, it's like if you're living under my roof, you follow my rules. That's what happens when you're on the take from the government. You live under their rules.
And we need to audit the Federal Reserve, and we need Ron Paul as the head of that. Ron Paul, come back and serve your country.
What is he, 95 now?
I don't know.
Still pretty sharp. I saw him a while ago on an interview. He seems to be doing really well. 89. Okay. He's not 95.
He would... Oh, I'm so glad he's still here. It's a shame that Rush isn't here to witness this. Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, he'd love it.
But Ron Paul's still here, so give him a role of auditing the Fed. Let's go. And let's find that gold, too.
Can you imagine? Jeez. That's like the one thing that I strongly believe should have happened 30 years ago that they haven't really pushed very hard so far. Maybe they will. Maybe they will audit the Fed. I've heard a little bit of talk about it, but not a lot.
Yeah, Mike Lee, is definitely on board with that.
I mean, while we're at it, let's audit the Fed. You want to talk about fraud? Oh, man.
If you are a libertarian or a conservative, you need to get your wish list in front of somebody ASAP. Because this is the best opportunity for all of this stuff.
That's for sure.
Right now.
All right, so Marco Rubio just met with his Russian counterpart.
Yeah, Lavrov.
What do we get from that meeting so far?
Okay, so here we go. Just happened in Saudi Arabia. Rubio, Lavrov agreed to create a consultation mechanism to eliminate irritants in relations between the Russia and U.S. Trump and Putin meeting was discussed, but it's unlikely it's going to happen within the next week. I think that had been floated. Creation of negotiating teams on Ukraine.
All right.
Lavrov and Rubio agreed on cooperation in economic and investment spheres. Restoration of previous number of employees in embassies. Woo! Okay. Rubio said he believes
something we've been clamoring for.
Russia is ready to engage in serious discussions. So there's your highlights after a 4.5
to end the war.
Yeah, 4.5 hour conversation. So I mean, it's a first get together, you know. So we're getting there. So we're not gonna solve it all right now, but
apparently not.
A couple more meetings like this, right?
Really, Marco? That's all we got.
That's what we got. That's what we got.
Can you imagine though the bullet points that would be coming out if this had been a Biden representative?
Oh, jeez.
What would that have been? And so America has agreed to give Alaska back to Russia. Seriously.
That wouldn't surprise me.
No, nothing would have surprised me under that administration.
By the way, over in Europe, the arrival of President Trump 2.0 has made quite an impression. Here's the husband of Poland's foreign minister.
What would you say to Donald Trump, Minister Sikorski? We have more chairs.
I would tell him three things. Number one, Joe Biden was your successor and predecessor, but he planted the flag of the United States in downtown Kiev and declared on behalf of the United States that the U.S. will be with Ukraine for as long as it takes until Ukraine secures its independence. Therefore, the credibility of the United States depends on how this war ends. Not just the Trump administration, the United States itself. I would secondly tell him that if you allow
Polish
Putin to
foreign minister,
vassalize
first
Ukraine,
man,
that'll send a message to China that you can recover what you regard as a renegade province. And that would have direct consequences for U.S. grand strategy, for the U.S. system of alliances, and possibly for the future of Taiwan. And I would thirdly tell him
what would you
that we Europeans
this is a big one.
control the Nobel Peace Prize.
So?
He's serious. He thinks that matters.
So?
Right? Oh,
And
clap.
if you want to earn it, the peace has to be fair.
What?
Very clear.
Brother.
So he doesn't get the Peace Prize.
Okay, maybe husbands should be seen and not heard in Poland. Is that?
I like that.
Yeah. Maybe at least he should be seen and not heard. That was ridiculous.
I don't think Trump wants the Nobel Peace Prize.
No, I don't think he cares about that.
Yes.
And by the way, Poland certainly doesn't control the Peace Prize. What is that, Norway? It's Norway's, right?
Who cares?
Norwegians are sort of over that. But
is that? Hold on. I don't even know. Who was that guy again? Was that the husband?
He was the husband of Poland's foreign minister.
Husband, yes.
Is it? Okay. Who's the... Okay, hold on. That's what the thing said. So who's the foreign minister? Like, this is how inconsequential you are, Europe.
Right.
I don't even know if we got this guy's title right. That may have been the foreign minister. Who cares? I don't even know. I seriously have no idea.
Oh, man, that's agonizing.
Polish foreign minister. Anyway, so there you go.
Is it? It's a woman, right?
I have no idea.
It didn't come up yet?
No.
AI didn't tell you.
No, it didn't.
You know what? I have found on the AI, the first thing that pops up on the Google search, a lot of times that's wrong.
Okay.
A lot of times. So just be careful of that.
That may be the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Really?
But why did it say husband?
The husband of Poland's foreign minister.
Bottom line is, whatever you just said and whoever you are doesn't matter to us here in America.
No, stick it up your rectal cavity. That's what we should say back to you. That's one thing I have to say to you, Mr. Foreign Minister or Foreign Minister's husband.
You can be both.
Stick it up your rectum. Okay? That's what you can do with your advice to Donald Trump. God, that drives me out of my mind.
So Europe is sad. They don't like that Donald Trump won for a third time the U.S. presidency.
Well, some of them. I mean, you're going to have the more conservative people like Hungary, and some of them will be fine. Let's see, Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Okay.
Is Radislaw Sikorski. So that was probably him.
Okay.
Yeah, that was him.
That was him.
So he's not the husband.
Where did
that come from?
I don't know, man. Let's not dwell on it.
Okay, that was the foreign minister.
Sure it was.
So there you go. And Vice President J.D. Vance also made quite an impression in Europe, of course. German leader, one of the German leaders yesterday, as the Munich Security Conference wrapped up, had this to say.
Okay.
After the speech of Vice President Vance on Friday, we have to fear that our common value base is not that common anymore.
Well, that's for sure.
I'm very grateful to all those European politicians that spoke out and reaffirmed the values and principles that they are defending.
Pause it. Here's the value and principle they're defending. If you say something they don't like online, you're going to jail.
Yeah.
That's the principle and value you're going to stand up there and defend in front of the entire world, you moron.
I mean, Sunday night, we went on a raid with 60 Minutes in Germany at 6:01 a.m. because somebody posted a racist meme.
God, that's incredible.
It is incredible. Do they not see the parallels here?
Wow.
A half century ago, 75 years ago?
Talk about the pendulum swinging back too far the other way. It has gone from the Nazis to
the Nazis.
The Nazis. This is the European system. Nazis on the right, because in Europe they are. They are all big government people. So it went from Nazis on the right to Nazis on the left.
I love this.
Wow.
This was the greatest tweet yesterday, where piggybacking that morning raid in Germany that 60 Minutes brought us, somebody said, I'm setting my VPN to Germany intentionally before I post racially insensitive material.
I love it.
Send him on a wild goose chase.
Yeah. Come and get me, morons.
I love that. Like, I have no inclination to post anything racist
I don't
or
either,
anything like that. But boy, I want to go through a VPN and just do that.
It's tempting. Just because that's such fascism.
Right. You got to finish this clip, though.
Oh, yeah.
This guy walks
Let's
away.
see if we can get through it. Oh, my gosh.
And he's sad.
No one did this better than President Zelensky.
Oh.
Let me conclude, and this becomes difficult.
Difficult.
He's crying. He's literally crying.
We have a means of making you shut up.
J.D. Vance made this dude cry.
He cried.
He couldn't finish his speech.
He cried. Wow. And look he's being comforted by some woman. Is that his wife? Who's
as a foreign minister of Poland? I don't know.
That is pathetic.
So sad.
How embarrassing is that? And they're all applauding him. They're all cheering him in this Munich conference.
Let's cry it out. Oh no.
He told us that we can't be telling people that they can't say mean things on the internet and be arrested. Can you believe it?
So weird.
J.D. Vance is mean.
J.D. Vance? So hold on a second. You get the policies of Hitler with a feminine touch.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's where Europe is right now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
9.
Oh
Nine. No.
No.
9.
Oh, he's crying over
Yeah, 9.
Wait, yeah?
I don't know
Hold on,
what
is
I'm trying to say right now, but
It's a yeah?
I'm just upset.
Is that a 9?
J.D. Vance is mean.
You know what?
He's mean.
Here's a cry towel for you right there. There you go. Yeah. Just don't get snot on it. Just don't get snot on it. Oh no, bro. It's okay. Look, finishers. Can you finish your speech?
10.
Can you finish your speech?
11.
Wait.
I can't.
You're among friends in this auditorium. Just step back up there and be a man already.
All right, I'm okay now.
Okay.
I'm all right now. Wow. Oh, I got to tell you about Jay's Medical before.
Did they come with it?
I was so upset.
Right, we were worried.
Wow.
It's like snap out of it. You got a commercial.
He did.
So in a Jace case, is there room for a cry towel?
Let me see. All right, let's see
Sure there is.
You could
you
maybe
could fit anything in that Chase.
You got to be
Oh,
prepared
yeah.
in case you're traveling to
Sure,
Europe.
look at that. Look at that. You could fit a cry towel in there.
Oh, yes.
Especially a European cry towel.
Everything's
Their
smaller in
teeny
Europe.
little faces over there. So not only can you get the really good medication that you need, the antibiotics in case you get a bacterial infection, but you can also get a really nice European cry towel. I don't know that that's true, but maybe we'll throw it in for you. But you can get add-ons like ivermectin and things. This could really, really save you if there's a shortage of antibiotics. We get them all from China, so who knows when they're going to cut off that supply chain. So whether there's some kind of disaster or an interruption in the supply chain, or it's just a matter of convenience, this is so great to have when you go on vacation. Like when we were in Mexico, the last thing I would have wanted to do if I got an infection is go to a Mexican hospital.
Oh, you do not.
No, thank you.
You will still be there.
I would have died before I would have gone to one of them. Because, I mean, this is a place that you can't even flush toilet paper down a toilet. Right. So that would have come in. This comes in really handy.
And I believe there's a contest happening at the Jace case.
There is a contest. They're holding giveaways all month long to make sure that you can have the right medications on hand the moment you need them. You could win anything from the travel case, the Jace Go, to the fully custom Jace case. So now's the time to protect yourself and your family from uncertainty. Your health is just too important to leave it to chance. Go to jace.com, enter the promo code, and enter their giveaway, and own your own Jace case. Promo code PAT at checkout for a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT, P-A-T, at jase.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, by the way, you know what fell out of the Jace case was the Z-Pack.
Oh.
The azithromycin tablets. These are super handy.
Yeah.
I love these things. Anyway.
Will that knock out a bad case of fascism in Europe?
I wish it was that easy.
I don't think it's that
It's
easy.
not that powerful. Okay.
I think that's an injection, not a pill.
Okay, so we asked the question, is this a guy or a girl? One of the clips we played early in the show.
Yeah. Where are we on that?
Nobody knows. Okay, so I think something around 70 million votes have come in.
Wow.
And
70 million.
I said something like it. I don't know. It's a rough number.
Could be 40 million.
Right.
It could be 120 million.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. So a guy, 40%.
Okay.
A girl, 14%. Somewhere in between, that's our winner. 45% of you say somewhere
I can
in between.
Yeah.
The beater guy.
I can go with that.
Right.
Wait, what does
Beater
that
guy.
sign say? Diabolical oligarchs gaslighting everyone? That's Doge. Well, they're so crafty.
Oh, that's good.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.